Hi friends, it's Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a US versus UK book cover video, and this is sort of like an ongoing series I have on my channel. Although I haven't posted one in a while, I think the last time I posted one was sometime last fall. And so this will be number 4 in the series. But that being said, you don't have to watch any of the other ones in order to enjoy this one. But in case you are interested in those other ones, I will link them down below. And so basically in this video, we will be looking at US and UK book covers of the same book and seeing who has the superior book cover, the US or the UK. And looking at pretty book covers just always makes me so happy and puts a smile on my face, and so I always have a lot of fun doing these videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video as well. So today the US and UK book covers will be battling it out in 8 different rounds, and whoever wins the most rounds will be declared the champion of this battle. So without further ado, let's start with round number 1, which is The Swan's Daughter by Roshani Chokshi. This is a YA fantasy book that came out earlier this year. So here is the US book cover. So first, let me just say I love this cover. I love the colors. I love the fairy tale whimsical vibes that it's giving. And now here is the UK cover. So this cover is also stunning. I love the colors. The colors are similar to the US cover. And I also love the illustration style on this one as well. And so this round is very hard because I love both these covers, but I think I'm gonna give it to the UK book covers because there's just something about the illustration style in the UK that I just like a tiny bit more. So that's 1 point going to the UK book covers. Round number 2 is Agnes Obey's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. So this is a cozy fantasy that came out earlier this year. Here is the US cover. So I love this cover. I love all the cats on the cover and the color and style of it and how it just looks so elegant. And now here's the UK cover. I also love this cover. It also has cats on it, and I just like the soft, cozy fantasy vibes that it's giving. And again, this round is very hard to choose, but I am going to give it to the UK book covers because I just like the soft, cozy vibes that the cover is giving. So that's now another point to the UK book covers. So it's UK book covers 2 and US book covers 0. So it's not looking good for the US book covers, but maybe in this next round they'll be able to score a point. So round number 3 is Stay for a Spell by Amy Coombs. Here's the US book cover. So I love the cozy vibes of this cover. We have a cat, we have piles of books, we have a girl reading in a cozy little space. It's so cozy. Also, the fact that the cat has tentacles in this cover also piques my curiosity. It makes me want to pick the book up. And now let's look at the UK cover. So I absolutely love this cover. The cozy vibes, again, are immaculate. And it's also like giving fairy tale vibes too, with just like the soft colors and the softly glowing lights that are on the cover. And again, we also have a cat with tentacles on this one too. And so for this one, I'm giving it to the UK covers because I just like how this cover feels softer and gentler and a little more magical. And so that's another point to UK book covers. So now it's UK book covers 3 and US book covers still 0. Round number 4 is Thistle March by Moria Corrigan. So this one is an adult cozy fantasy with fairies that came out this past April. Here is the US book cover. So I love the cottagecore vibes that this one's giving with the flowers and the rustic looking door in the middle. And I also really like the purple and yellow color scheme that's going on with the flower. And overall, this cover just gives a magical, cozy vibes with a hint of mystery. Now let's look at the UK cover. So again, like the first one, this is also giving cozy cottagecore vibes with the flowers. And there's also a very cute little mouse on here. And then there's a snake, which gives a little bit of like an ominous undertone to the whole feeling of the cover as well. As much as I really like this cover, there's just something about the US cover that I like a little bit more. And I think it has to do with the door in the US cover. I just really like how there's this rustic yet magical looking door, whereas the UK cover instead has like a picture of a manor in the distance, and that just doesn't give me like the same cozy vibes that the door is giving me. And so the US book covers finally earn 1 point, and so the score is now UK book covers 3 and US book covers 1. And so it looks like the US book covers are still in the game. They can still make a comeback. So let's see how this next round goes. Round number 5 is The Demon and the Light by Axie O. So this is the second book and conclusion of a YA fantasy duology, with the first book being The Floating World. So here's the US book cover. So I really like the illustration style of this cover and the fun, exciting action fancy vibes that it's giving me. I really like how the gold title and the little bits of gold foiling that are on it really like pop out. And now here's the UK book cover. So I think this cover is absolutely stunning. I love the contrast between the bright and dark colors in here. And I love that the sun is like right in the middle and is like bridging the light and dark together. And overall, I just think this cover is really gorgeous. And while I also really like the US cover, I'm going to give this one to the UK cover because the UK cover is just really vibing with me right now. So another point goes to UK book covers. That means it's now UK book covers 4 and US book covers 1. Round number 6 is The Dragon and the Sun Lotus by Amelie Wen Zhao. And this is a sequel to the YA fantasy book The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. So here is the US book cover. So I absolutely love this cover. I love the colors. I love the illustration that's on it. And looking at this book cover just brings me a sense of calm and peace. And now here's the UK book cover. So the colors in this cover are also very striking. I find it interesting that this one went for more like brighter colors, like the orange and the red. And so like the colors of this cover just scream action and adventure and excitement. And whereas the US cover makes me feel calm, this cover makes me like ready for a battle. And so for this round, I am giving it to the US book covers because I personally just prefer just a tiny bit more the US cover color combo and design. And so with that, the US finally gets another point, and so now it's US book covers 2 and UK book covers 4. So that means if the US book covers can win these last 2 rounds, they can tie with the UK book covers. Round number 7 is The Beast We Raised by D.L. Taylor. This is the second book in a YA fantasy series, with the first book being The Beast We Bury. Here is the US cover. So this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors in this. I love like the orange, the pink, and the yellow, and like the peachy toned flowers. And I also really like how they make up the design of an animal head. And so overall, this cover is just stunning. And now let's look at the UK cover. So this one has a very different illustration style compared with the US cover, but it's also very striking in its own way too. I think the colors work very well in this cover, and I feel like the line art style that was used gives it like a very unique feel. However, personally, I just feel more drawn to the US cover, and I just think the US cover is absolutely gorgeous, and so this point is going to the US book covers. And so now the score is US book covers 3 and UK book covers 4. And so the US book covers are catching up. Let's see, this is going to be the final round. Let's see if the US book covers will be able to win this and tie it, or if the UK book covers will win it all. So round 8 in the final round is Brighter Than 9 by June C.L. Tan. And this is the second book in a YA fantasy duology, with the first book being Darker by 4. So here is the US book cover. So I really like the sword on this cover and all the little details that it has, and how the contrasting colors really make it stand out from the background of the cover. And so this cover is really screaming exciting fancy vibes to me. And now let's look at the UK cover. So this one is also screaming exciting fantasy vibes, and I really like the anime-esque illustration style of this cover. I really like how our main female character has her swords that are glowing red, and then like the background on her side is also red, whereas the male character on this cover has a purple glow to him and his side has the purple glow as well. So I really like that contrast between the two, and I think it just makes the cover look really cool. And so I am giving this point to the UK book covers because I think overall, at least to me personally, the UK book cover is more exciting to me, and I feel like it is more uniquely stylized than the US book cover. So that means that our score is now US book covers 3 and UK book covers 5. So that means that the UK book covers are the champions of this video. And with that, another book cover battle has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had fun. I hope it made you smile. I would love to know down below if you had the same opinions as me, if you had different opinions than me. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.